So my first coach was really big on dot torture. All right, and dot torture is a great thing to learn how to do this. The only problem with dot torture is what? It's pure accuracy mode. No time limit. As long as you want to shoot, get it in the dots, right? So what I got really good was shooting slowly at very small targets, okay, which was a good place to start because I established accuracy mode. As you can see, it's affected me for the rest of my life. All right, doesn't matter which hand I'm shooting with or mirrored grip, it always goes to the same spot. Because I recognize the only thing that really matters in this style of shooting is cleaning up the sight movie as I shoot. As long as I stay with it, it always goes where I want it to go. What I've noticed with some of you is when you get to the trigger, you get to the wall, and then you say everything's good, and that happens, and that's where you see the movement in it, okay? Now, when I said 5 shots to the alpha, I don't care where they are in the alpha as long as they're in the alpha. But some of you still imposed what? Accuracy mode. You're supposed to work on speed mode. That's the only speed mode part of this. So make sure you work on that and get better with it, okay? Now, this is not a perfect warm-up, but it's a good one. At the end of the day, if you spend those 50 rounds or so that we just did, you've had a pretty good practice. You're going to be able to draw well. You're going to be able to manage sights. You can shoot with either hand. You understand trigger, and you got disciplined point of aim. How many of you go to the range and have any sort of process like that? Usually you just shoot a drill, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like that. But this is a warm-up to make sure I'm connected. Now, if something went askew during this warm-up, what would I do?
That's what you work on.
That's what I got to work on. Even though I thought I'd mastered it, it's not there. You know what's really oddly strange to me is the right hand felt a little weird today. Just shooting with that. It's usually better. Left hand felt great. Right hand didn't feel as well, so I had to really focus again. So I cleaned it up during it so I didn't have to go back and practice it. See, that's the advantage. I'm making a sacrifice right there. If I'll pay attention now, I don't have to go do 25 rounds of right hand only. That's how you reward yourself. Get better in the moment so you don't have to go practice more in the future. If it's a real insufficient thing, then you work on that. The other thing I do is the fade back drill where I shoot at different ranges with different amount of rounds to make sure that I'm still in accuracy mode. The only thing that matters in shooting is the size of the target. So this is a big target, this is a medium target, and this is a small target. This target, 25 yards, looks like that target. Hypothetically, if we can shoot like this, here we should be able to shoot like that back there, but your brain says what? Proxemics say it's too far, I can't manage that distance. That's what happens every time. So you've got to train your brain to do it. The best way to do that if you have that problem is to keep stepping back one step at a time or keep rolling the target forward one step at a time. Very incrementally so your brain doesn't get a chance to scream. As soon as you find that weird buffer barrier, that's where you practice. Okay? Now, speed people that aren't seeing enough. Okay? Do the same step back drill, but watch to see when your draw stroke goes above 1. As soon as it goes above 1, stay there and practice. And then you will fix what you're not seeing, because that's where the end of your education for seeing targets starts. And if you'll get to the point where you get confident in that, it'll teach your brain to do what? If I see enough, I can hit the target at any distance at this speed. And that way we're not sacrificing your gift of speed. The worst way to talk to a fast athlete is to tell them to slow down. It just doesn't work. They can't go slow in life. They're not going to go slow for you. And in fact, they work fast, so let them be fast. Okay? And what it means is they need better processing, not to slow down. If you're a bad driver fast, you're a bad driver slow, it's just your consequences are less. Now, accuracy people, when you talk to them, what you have to tell them is they don't have as much time as they thought. They don't need as much information as they do because they're actually very greedy people. They want it all. They want it to go fast, they want it to go here, but they're willing to sacrifice the time for more information. What we got to get them to do is recognize what good enough is. Okay? Is that good enough? Yeah. Even for an accuracy guy, that's fantastic, right? How about that one? How about that one? Yeah. They're all good enough. They're in the target. How about these? They're all good enough. So as long as I do that, okay? Did you worry about the bullseye when you started doing draws? And they're all going in the bullseye.
Yeah, I was more worried about matching you.
That's right. See, I knew he was doing it. He was going to feel me next to him. He needs that. He needs that kind of push. So we're always training with each other and getting better. These are the mechanics as an instructor you must recognize in your students. It's not the curriculum, it's how you put them in place and make them recognize the benefits and the problems ahead of them and how you communicate how they can overcome that problem so they get better at it. I was watching Tamara out of the corner of my eye and I could see her finger do this. You know? So I had one little comment with her. I was like, keep the trigger moving slowly. She's like, oh, look, I went right where I wanted to. And that's all the conversation we needed. She knows that. I know that. She just needed a reminder. starting to get a little aggravated with it, weren't you?
Yep.
It's not going where I want to. And now is where anger and emotion is bad because there was no correction in it. It was just, I'm going to try harder.
I was correcting everything else.
Yeah. So get back to feeling, get back to seeing. Feel good? Everybody feel warmed up?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you do that once or twice a week, you can be a damn good shooter. And then you can add more to it. If you're at a higher level, you can add more to this. You know, you can do 4 aces or something like that to make it harder. And if I was leaving the range, what I'd say is I'm going to hit every one of these targets with 1 round. Okay? Give myself 20 seconds to do that from the draw. I hit every target with 1 round. Okay? It's a lot of targets in 20 seconds. And it means there's going to be a what in the middle of it? A reload. Okay? I don't know when it's going to happen. I'm just going to take care of it when it does. If I do that easily, then the next time I do it, it's 19 seconds. Because I'm trying to improve processing power. Now, what's the catch in it, Dan? What's the words I said? Every target has to have 1 hit in it. I can tell you how many times you can shoot at it. You can't leave the target until you get a hit. Because what's most important in performance mode? Calling your shots. So go get some ammo. We're going to do performance mode next.